It is often said that we know the moon better than the floors of our own oceans. This is not due to a lack of curiosity, but rather because of a relentless physical barrier. While the sky invites us into a vacuum, the ocean crushes us with its mass. The sea is not merely water, it is a living hydraulic press that occupies 70% of our planet. The journey begins in the first 10 meters. Here sunlight is abundant, but the pressure has already doubled compared to the surface. For every 10 meters of descent, physics imposes an additional atmosphere. At 20 meters, we enter the zone where the human eye begins to be deceived. Water absorbs light energy selectively. Red light photons have the longest wavelength and the lowest energy. They are the first to be hijacked by water molecules. If you were to cut yourself here, your blood would not look red. It would appear dark green or gray. The color that defines life on the surface does not exist in the realm of depth. Descending to 40 meters, we reach the limit of recreational diving. Here, physics affects the chemistry of your blood. Under this pressure, the nitrogen you breathe begins to act like a drug on your nervous system. This is known as nitrogen narcosis. The effect is comparable to drunkenness, stripping away the diver's critical judgment precisely when the margin for error becomes zero. Upon reaching the 100-meter mark, the physical reality of the diver, or any submerged structure, undergoes a drastic mutation. Here, the hydrostatic pressure is 11 atmospheres. To visualize this, imagine the weight of a compact car concentrated on every square centimeter of your skin. It is a force that does not just push, it attempts to occupy every available empty space. Your lungs, if not protected by the rigidity of an atmospheric suit or the saturation of specific gases, would be physically compressed to the size of oranges. This is the most brutal application of Boyle's law, where the volume of a gas is forced to decrease proportionally to the increase in external pressure. At this depth, the sun also loses its final battle for colors. Yellow and orange light, which still gave some tone of life to the upper levels, have been completely filtered out by the density of the water column above you. What remains is a heavy monochromatic blue, a visual signal that solar energy is running out. Beyond the pressure and the darkness, the temperature here begins to drop sharply, creating a thermal barrier that separates the world we know from the abyss we are about to explore. At 150 meters, we are in the territory of world records for free diving. Here the blue begins to darken into a deep and somber navy tone. The temperature drops abruptly, because the surface water warmed by the sun cannot mix with the cold mass below. Finally, at 200 meters, we cross the border of the epipelagic zone and enter the mesopelagic zone. This is the end of the line for productive sunlight. Below this point, photosynthesis is impossible. No plants can grow. Every living being inhabiting this level and those below depends on marine snow, a constant rain of organic debris, fish remains, and waste falling from the upper layers. It is a world that lives on the leftovers of the sun. As we cross the 200-meter mark, we leave behind the world that the sun commands. Welcome to the mesopelagic zone, a realm of eternal twilight where light is not a source of life, but a tool of betrayal. Here the pressure is 21 atmospheres. For a diver, this would be the end. For physics, it is only the warm-up. Due to the unique combination of freezing temperatures and increasing pressure, sound travels much more efficiently than on the surface. This is the SOFAR channel, a sonic highway where the song of a whale or the noise of an engine can be detected thousands of kilometers away. In the abyss, silence is a technical illusion. In this realm, the scarcity of energy is the supreme law. Without plants and without light, life depends entirely on what falls from above or on chance encounters in the absolute darkness. This is where abyssal gigantism manifests in a disturbing way. Physics explains. In waters so cold and under such pressure, metabolism is extremely slow, allowing certain species to grow for decades, reaching sizes much larger than their shallow water relatives. More than 75% of the beings here produce their own light, but not to illuminate the way. Light here is a bait, a weapon, or a mating signal. The anglerfish, one of the icons of this level, uses a luminous rod, which is nothing more than a chemical symbiosis with glowing bacteria to attract prey in a world where every calorie spent could be the last. At 2,000 meters, the hydrostatic pressure reaches 200 atmospheres. This means that every square centimeter is supporting 200 kilograms of constant force. For biology, this creates an invisible chemical problem. Extreme pressure begins to interfere with the structure of proteins and cell membranes. This is why the creatures inhabiting this level possess molecules called piezolites that prevent their cells from being literally crushed from the inside out. Upon reaching 4,000 meters, we hit the abyssal plain, the average bed of the ocean. The pressure here is 400 atmospheres. It is as if you had 400 cars stacked on top of you. The sediment here is composed of biological remains that took weeks to descend from the surface. It is a global cemetery of nutrients that sustains an ecosystem that has never seen the sun, operating under a physics that humanity took millennia to even begin to map. Despite the brutality of our ocean depths, there is a poetic connection between the abyss and the cosmos. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your teeth, and the oxygen you breathe were forged in the hearts of stars that exploded billions of years ago. Part of that stardust ended up here, at the bottom of an oceanic trench being recycled by abyssal life. We are the only point in the known universe where the cosmos has developed eyes to look down and understand its own depth. Exploring the ocean is not just about marine biology. It is about understanding the place of life in the fabric of physical reality. The abyss teaches us that the impossible is merely a matter of perspective and adaptation,